If you want to know what a Christmas tree looks like that is covered in Tru-Tone Classicolor C9 bulbs, then this video is for you. So let's get started. So let's start by talk about what we're going to be using on my Tru-Tone tree. None of this is sponsored. Everything in here I purchased myself. I just want to show you what a colored tree will look like. So I have yellow C9 bulbs that are going to use. These are the yellow, and then we're going to have green, blue, and red. So those are the color combinations I chose to use this year. On top of the tree, we're going to have the star tree top, and that's what we have right here. Has this fabric wire. I'll talk about the wire in a second, and then it plugs into the top, and you can put in 5 bulbs. And I'm going to use white on this tree. I do have a multi-color set. My green are being used somewhere else, but we're gonna put white around the top. I think we might change it to the clear white. We'll see how it looks, but that's my plan right now. That way I'm using all of the Classicolor painted bulbs. So I'm not using any of the jewel tone on the tree this year. Maybe some year I'll do a jewel tone covered tree. So for wires, I'm going to use the classic wire by Tru-Tone. These are a 20 gauge wire. They have fuses on them. You can have up to 24 of them or 600 Tru-Tone bulbs because these are LED, so they're way more versatile when you're using LED. You can use a ton of these. These are indoor, outdoor. I've only ever used them indoor. I have my own that I use for outdoor, and they're 26.5 feet, and they have a 12-inch bulb spacing and a 12-inch, 18-inch lead. So from where you plug it in to where you use it is 18 inches. And this is the red and blue version. They also have a green and light green version that I'll show you right here. I only have 2 of these, so I'm going to be using the red and green. If I need more bulbs, I might add 1 more, but I have 4 sets of these. So as of right now, I have 100 light bulbs I'm gonna put on my tree. I think if I remember last year, I probably needed at least 1 more box, so I might add 1 more string at the end. If you wanna get ultra fancy, they have the deluxe version of the wire. These things are incredible. As you can see, they're a lot thicker. These are a twisted pair fabric with an 18 gauge wire, so the wire is thicker than on the other set. So these are like $25 a piece for this, and then these are like $60. So I only have 2 of these. I actually use these in places where you can see them more around my house, like if I have them on the wall or above the fireplace, where they'll be more visible. So I don't use these on the tree because they're just way too expensive to put a whole bunch of them on the tree. You're not really gonna see it. And then the twisted pair that are vinyl work great for a tree anyways. So they're a little bit cheaper, a little bit more economical, and then you can use them on the tree. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting a bulb into each of these strands. We're gonna go yellow, green, blue, red. If you haven't used Tru-Tone before, they are an LED bulb that is supposed to have a vintage look. And I've used them a lot on my channel. I really like them. And we're gonna put them in just like that, and that's the look that we're gonna have around the tree. So we're gonna do yellow, green, blue, and red, like I said. These are not clear, but when we turn them on, it's gonna have a nice glow. So let me put all of these in, and then we'll go set up our tree. Time to set up our tree. I've got this Balsam Hill fake tree that we've been using 8 or 10 years. This is actually a really nice tree. We decided a while ago that if we're just gonna have a fake tree, we should just buy one nice one and be done. So we kind of bit that bullet. I do have a dimmer in here so I can dim the lights. So we'll test our Tru-Tone that are behind me, how well they dim. But this tree is really easy to set up. We're just gonna have a bottom base piece and then the rest of the tree. It has these cool leaves. I don't know how well you can see, but this was the realistic version. And it's kind of got different layers of tree. I don't remember what it is, like a blue spruce or something. I live near the Appalachian Mountains, so I was trying to get the tree that kind of fit the area the best. So that's the tree I chose. It's only 4 pieces and you just knock it out. So we're just gonna drop it in, and then I will start putting lights on it as we go, and I'll show you how we do it. I'm 40 years old now, which means Santa shirt fits better than it ever did, but it means I'm using the same lighting technique that my mom taught me when I was probably, I don't know, 10, putting together Christmas lights. So that's just the way that I've always done it. So I'll show you how I do it. And then we will put our branches together. They are begin setup with this one, and then there's 2 or 3. So if you are looking for a good tree that lasts, this is a really good one. These balsam hills, but they are gonna cost a little bit. I even think it comes with instructions and gloves that you can wear while you're putting it together. So that's pretty cool. So you're not gonna keep prickling your hands up. Let me set this in a better spot and we'll start putting our lights on. Let's start putting our lights on. We're gonna start on the bottom before I put all the tree together. And I like to start from the middle and come out. So you do have to remember that these are glass bulbs, but usually I don't break any. And I'm gonna start in the middle and then just kind of come in and out and put the bulbs on the tree. You know, they're not gonna be the brightest bulbs, which is actually okay. So I actually have a bottom section and we're gonna go out and in and work our way around the tree. And then at the end, I'll come back and put it together a little bit nicer. I gotta pull some of these branches out as I go around. And then once I do it, I can drop down the ones that are on the top. It's gonna take a little bit more lights on the bottom because it's wider, obviously. And then as we keep going, we'll have our strands. I made 4 strands, so I have 100 lights. I think this is a 6-foot tree, if I remember correctly. We can measure again at the end. Put it down, and now, the easy ones, I'll just lay them in, kind of go a little bit opposite of where the other ones were. That way, there's lights. That way you get the depth of the tree all the way in and out. So now we will grab our next strand, plug it in just like that, throw it in, kind of fluff up some of these branches. Like I said, I'll come back and do it all later. You don't want to watch me do that. So we'll put the next section on our tree. And these are C7 bulbs, so it's going to be a different look than what you're going to have with like mini lights. Especially if you like mini incandescent. Tru-Tone, at the time that I'm making this video, does not make mini lights, but I hear there's some maybe in the works, just from comments and stuff. So hopefully soon they'll have a mini version, then we can have a tree with mini lights. But at the current time, these are the lights that I'm gonna have to use. I actually did not grow up with large bulbs on a tree, so it's kind of cool for me to have an opportunity to have something that looks a little different than what I had growing up. We always had mini lights, either white or colored, nothing really specific. So we've got another strand, start putting them on. This is the easiest one because I just kind of throw it on like this as we're getting to the top. This will also let you know if you think this is enough bulbs. I'm just going to do it at 100 bulbs. Then you'll know, okay, it should have more bulbs than what I have. So I think I'm 6 foot tall. I think this is a 6-foot tree. This is 100 bulbs. I was wrong. This is a 7-foot tree because I am 6 feet tall. So you honestly probably want one more strand to try to get all of this color. So at least 5 strands is what you're gonna want, or else you're kind of stuck like I am. One more strand would make it better. There you go. So yes, this is a 7-foot tree because I'm 6 feet tall. And you come back around, fill in all the spots. You can look and be like, oh, we need more lights here. We need more lights here. We need more lights here. And you can kind of pull it out. So you'll do all the final finishing touches. There we go. So now let's put our star together, and we're gonna come put our star all at the top of our tree. Now that our tree is done, we're going to put on our tree top. So here's the inside, here's the tree top. It is a polished stainless steel. I'm going to use white bulbs, C7 bulbs. It does have a 16-inch deluxe twisted pair, kind of like the fancy wires I showed earlier. So that's what it comes with on the bottom here. Really, really nice. Has the big plug. And it's only 3 watts total when you plug in all of these Tru-Tone bulbs. And like I said, I'm going to use white. Maybe we'll test out what the clear white bulbs look like, but I'm just going to use white today because I'm trying to use all of the opaque colored bulbs. But there we go. There's our white. Let me plug it in real quick and let's see what it looks like. Make sure my light's off. And there we go. This one I had trouble screwing it in. There we go. And there is our white bulb. So let's go put this on the tree and we'll finish everything up. And it comes with this Velcro piece, and we're just gonna come up here and Velcro it around the bottom. You wanna do that so that you're not shove the branches into the bottom. They've closed it all up so you can't get in there. Got some Velcro, and we will put it on. It was a little tough to get up there. That's the gist of it. Now let's come back, take a look at our tree and see how it looks with all of the colors. So here is our 7-foot tree with 100 Tru-Tone bulbs. I think you would probably want at least one more string. As you can see, there's a few spots that are kind of empty, but if you added at least 1 or 2 more strings, I think you'd be able to fill it all in. But as you can see, it does look really nice. Has a nice glow. Definitely cool lights to put on a tree. And now we'll look closer. There's the top of the tree. Coming down, you've got some green, you've got some yellow, you've got blue, you've got red. Look at how cool these bulbs just look coming down on this tree. There's the blue, red, it's always hard, yellow and blue. But look at all that, just has a nice glow to it. Look at the glow that we're getting on this tree as I come back up to the top. Just looks amazing. A few more bulbs would definitely look better, I admit. I don't have any at the moment. But there we go, all the way to the top of the tree. So I hope that helps you just see what a Tru-Tone tree with C9 multicolored. I hope this helps you see what a Tru-Tone tree with C7 multicolored Classicolor bulbs looks like on a tree. It just has a great glow to it. So definitely very cool. I really like it. I think you will too, or I don't see too much flicker with these bulbs. Like I said, I've used these bulbs quite a bit, so I already really know that the flicker doesn't really bother me, as some LED bulbs really can. I tried to back up a little bit. The room's not very big for me to be able to get the whole shot into my camera, or I don't have a very wide lens, but there it is. This is a Leviton dimmer. I used it last year. As you can see, I used it on the white bulbs. So we'll see, there it goes, kind of down. Looks like if I go at this point, some of them are actually on and some are off. So those white ones up top are all on, and a few of them go off. So I kind of go right there. But you can go from about there to there, that looks good. If I go all the way down, they all go off. This is interesting. There's a few that'll come on at kind of a really dim, and then the rest of them just kind of pop on about right there. So from there to there, there to there, you can dim it. So you can bring it down a little bit. So there we go. Thought I'd throw that in there at the end, but that's how the dimmer looks. Doesn't seem to be affecting the flicker any, but we'll see you in the next video. Merry Christmas.